Welcome, listeners and viewers. I'm your host, Grace Oha, for Rising Above Shadows of Abuse, or RASA. This is a show where we discuss issues relating to abuse, mental health, society, and culture. Today's episode centers around world news. It's from the Washington Post, dated 14th of February 2025, by Gaya Gupta. When one woman reached out to Gaiman for help fighting her legal battles, he had assured her he was the real deal, touting his 34 years of experience as a Nevada prosecutor, investigators said. Second woman sought him out because she heard he was a good attorney. Third needed representation for one of multiple court cases. But after agreeing to represent this woman, Gaiman, a high-profile lawyer based in Las Vegas, used his position as the defense attorney to sexually exploit police alert. Gaiman was arrested last week by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department and charged with 1 count each of sex trafficking, conspiracy to commit murder, and solicitation to commit murder, sexually motivated coercion, and perjury. He was also charged with 3 counts each of pandering, bribing, or intimidating to influence witness testimony. Through the course of the investigation, detectives believe Gaiman was using his position as a criminal defense attorney to victimize individuals of sex trafficking and prostitution. The police said in a statement, he's accused of running an operation he called the $100 Club, according to a 50-page arrest report, threatening his victims with violence or jail time if they did not comply with his orders. The Washington Post does not name victims or alleged victims of sexual abuse without their consent. Gaiman denied any wrongdoing when questioned by police. According to the arrest report, he had not yet entered a plea. After his arrest on February 3rd, he was released from the Clark County Detention Center later that day on a cash bail of $93,000. When reached by phone, Gaiman declined to comment. Court documents do not list an attorney for him, but the Post contacted 2 lawyers named as Gaiman's counsel in local news stories. Neither has responded. Experts say that these women who were facing charges may have been particularly vulnerable to exploitation by someone overseeing their legal outcomes. When one woman refused Gaiman's alleged request for a sexual act, threatening to stop representing her, according to the arrest report. Citing evidence outlined in the arrest report, Maggie Curl, a former prosecutor who has taken on sex trafficking cases, said that Gaiman was allegedly using a tried and true playbook for sex traffickers by manipulating, coercing, and threatening force against his victims. What's unique here is he has the additional leverage of being an attorney, and really at the core of an attorney-client relationship is trust, she said. As of Friday morning, Gaiman was still an active member of the State Bar of Nevada, which oversees the state's attorneys. Long before he was a defendant in a sex crime investigation, Gaiman prosecuted such cases for Clark County. For 15 years, he served in the district attorney's office, where he was at one point responsible for prosecuting all sexual assault cases, according to his personal website. He transitioned to defense work in 2005 and advertises his current firm, Gaiman and Hendron, as a practice for people who feel like they have nowhere to turn. In the arrest report, which describes evidence gathered through search warrants and interviews, investigators alleged that Gaiman had sought to seek out 3 female clients who had hired him for legal help and coerced them to exchange sexual acts for payments. In a text message viewed by police, he described himself as a gorilla pimp to one of his clients, whom he had met last July, according to the arrest report. The text message, laden with sexually explicit and demeaning threats, demanded the woman send a video of her genitals. If she resisted, he threatened to smash her teeth out of her mouth. For the next 12 months, effective immediately, you do what I tell you to do. You will date who I tell you to date. You will not break stride. You will march forward. You will level up on my mother effing terms, conditions, and time frame, he wrote in the message. The gorilla pimp describes a trafficker who exploits their victims with violence, intimidation, and aggressive tactics. According to Yasmin Vafa, a human rights attorney based in Washington, D.C., an advocate for survivors of gendered violence. Women currently and previously involved in the sex trade industry are particularly vulnerable to exploitation, Vafa said. One victim whose interview with police was detailed in the arrest report said that when she met Gaiman, she was trying to change her lifestyle and get out of the sex trade industry. When she approached him last October, while awaiting a court appearance at Clark County's Regional Justice Center, she got the sense that he was well connected, she told investigators. Gaiman immediately agreed to represent her. She was excited when Gaiman initially told her she'll be able to work as his secretary. She recounted to investigators, but soon after meeting him, he told her she would pay him for legal services by having sex with him, he said. When she said she didn't feel comfortable, Gaiman responded, that is how she would be paying him, according to the arrest report. After the first meeting, she told police, Gaiman said he would connect her with at least 4 friends who would pay her for sexual acts. He had told her, I don't understand how I'm making you do anything when you do it for a living, according to the arrest report. Later, the woman told investigators she joined Gaiman on his boat at Lake Mead National Recreation Area, where he asked her to engage in a sexual act. When she refused, he said that she would go to jail because he would stop representing her, according to the arrest report. Since she had children and feared going back to jail, she complied. A handful of counties in rural Nevada are the only places in the country where prostitution is legal in highly regulated. Those laws have created an assumption that it is normal across the state, said Rebecca Bender, a survivor who trafficked in Las Vegas. This false assumption, along with Vegas's party culture, makes the city a bed of exploitation, Bender said. You don't have a lot of cities like that. As Gaiman awaits his first court appearance, March 6, he also faces challenges to his legal license. The Nevada State Bar Office of Bar Counsel, which investigates attorney misconduct, has filed a petition for the temporary suspension of Gaiman's license. Dan Hooch, the office's top counsel, told the Post Gaiman had filed a competing petition for disability inactive status, which would also temporarily prohibit him from practicing law, he said. It will take several days before Nevada's Supreme Court makes a decision on which petition to enforce, Hughes said. Until then, Gaiman's attorney license remains active. Listeners and viewers, what do you think? Kindly leave your comments via email address risingaboveshadows of abuse@gmail.com. Thank you.